Welcome to the replay. As always, if you're watching on the replay, feel free to comment below any questions that you may have, or if you want to, just join in the discussion, I will be revisiting the comments. So today I'm answering another question that I get asked a lot. Does messy mean disorganized? I answer this one a lot. And in fact, recently when I did a survey about a webinar that I did, somebody mentioned my husband's messy desk in the back, which, if anyone knows my husband, he is the most organized person, probably even more organized than me. And there really wasn't a mess. There was actually piles in the back. So really the question is, does messy mean disorganized? Now, if you're like me, if you've ever met a person who, say you've walked into their office, or you've asked them something in their home, and they can literally find it in a pile of mess within seconds, I say they're not disorganized. They're messy for sure, but they're not disorganized. And flip that over. There are people that are so neat. You walk into their space, you walk into their office or their home, and everything looks pristine. But when you ask them to find something, they can't. Sometimes that's usually, and most likely, that's because it's stuffed in a closet, a drawer, or a cabinet somewhere. So those are the people that I call stashers. They love their space to be clear, but they can't find anything because it's all shoved away. Myself, I'm a piler. I like to have all of my piles out because I'm very visual, and that to some people is mess, which brings me to, what is your level of toleration for mess? Some of us will live with a family member who is very messy, and it will really bother us. And in our mind, we're thinking they're disorganized, when in fact, sometimes they are, but usually it's just they are sometimes leaving things out because they need to remember them, or there isn't a system in there. So the concept that messy means disorganized really doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, today's a messy broadcast because my brain is not working. Where I was going with that is, there are a lot of people, a lot of times creative people, need to have a mess around them in order to function. And sometimes it's creative in the sense that they're artistic, or creative in the sense that they are, they're working in the corporate area and they need to have everything out, and they need to be surrounded by stuff because a blank surface is just debilitating to them. So those type of people, I don't recommend that they have everything put away and neat, but we have to work to find a system that works for them. I'm not sure, it looks like somebody might be here. Unfortunately, I can't see who's here. So if you're here, say hello. Although I'm using StreamYard, so you have to have StreamYard, you have to approve them for me to be able to see your comments, at least during this live stream. And what else did I want to say about disorganized? This is a messy broadcast for me. So yes, again, so you see now I have just a plain background behind me. I only do this for certain videos. I still have no problem live streaming with a quote unquote mess behind me, because life is messy, and sometimes having everything in order and spending all that time putting everything in order and having everything have a place, that can really just, it can affect our productivity. I know that sounds crazy, but if we're spending so much time organizing instead of working on what we need to work on, we're less productive. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, there was an article that I found. I was cleaning out my files and I found an article back from 2006 that was written in the New York Times, and it was about Say Yes to the Mess. It was written about 3 months after I started my organizing business, and it resonated with me because when I started my organizing business, I was that person. Working in the corporate office, my desk was always clear at the end of the day. But when I came in the morning, all the piles came out of the drawer, and I would just keep it clear at night so that when the cleaning people came in, they wouldn't move anything. But I'm very much a piler then. I'm very much a piler now. The problem is, now I pile in my office at home and I don't have to move anything because I don't have to worry about people shuffling papers around. So that appears to be, a mess, when in reality, it's just what I'm working on. And I just completely lost my train of thought on this one. Where was I going with that? Oh, so the article, it's a great article. I'm going to link that down below. And then I'm also going to put a link again to my quiz. Actually, I'm going to throw it up on the screen for right now. And I will put it in the comments as well. I just got a text. My phone is on silent and the volume's down. Why does that come through? Anyone know? I digress. So there's a link to my quiz you can take to see if you are, I see people as 4 different ways. They're either pilers like myself, you like to have everything out and you like to be able to see what you're working with. You're a stasher, you love your space clean, but you don't have anything put away or in an organized fashion. So, if you're the type of person that's, trying to stuff things, you really need to work on everything needs to have a home and a place if you're going to be tucking it away. And then there's people who are avoiders. They have mess everywhere. Their closets and their drawers and their cabinets are all stuffed, and so are their surfaces. And then when we get to the other levels, when you can't even walk through the home, that's when we get to the hoarding level, and that's when you definitely need to. If it's affecting your life and it's affecting your daily life and your productivity, you definitely need to address it. And then there are the purgers. I'm a purger as well, even though I'm a piler. I'm very good about keeping what's coming in to a minimum. When I bring something in, I try to get rid of something, and then I do regular purging. So you can take that quiz and find out. And that's all I really had for today. You can tell I was kind of just a mess, right? But no, it's been quite a Mercury retrograde. If you believe in Mercury retrograde, which I 100% do, things have been kind of communication's just been all over the place. But that is all I have for you today. And if you have any questions, you can leave a comment or you can direct message me if you want to talk about this privately. So I guess I always should mention too, if you are living with somebody who's a mess and the mess doesn't bother them, that's when you need to really start communicating with each other about, how the mess makes you feel. Because like I said, we all have different tolerant levels. Hope this all made sense today. I'm feeling all over the place, but we will get back on track. So, and last thing, if you have any questions that you want me to address on this weekly show, I will be accepting them. You can ask during the broadcast, but you can also just send them to me and I can let you know when I'm going to be talking about them. I hope you all have a wonderful day and happy Wednesday. Bye.